So if there's one thing that's funnier than the show Echo itself, it's seeing everybody who is so desperate for this show to have any meaningful impact in the culture space. They are all shilling for it. And it's not many people, because there are people that would normally shill for a show like this, and even they can't shill for it because it's that bad. But you do have shills out there, and it's hilarious to witness. So we have an article here from Fandom Pulse that has a headline that reads, Marvel's Echo, the second worst reviewed MCU TV show ever, and the media shills go all out trying to salvage it. So let's get into this article, guys, from Fandom Pulse. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Like the video to push us out into the YouTube algorithm, and consider subscribing to my manga channel. The links are in the description box below. I will love to see you there. So the article reads, according to Forbes, Marvel's Echo is the second worst reviewed Marvel MCU TV show, but navigating the media narrative, one may gain the impression that Marvel's Echo is the best thing that has ever happened to the MCU. Well, I mean, that's every single Marvel TV show, right? Like, every single Marvel show is the next big thing. Oh, critics love it. Fans rave about it. Everybody loves Echo. See what you're missing out on here, 8 p.m. Eastern. You know what I mean? Like, they try to set everything up to make you feel as if people are actually giving a shit about this, but that stuff just doesn't work anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody gives a shit about Echo. Nobody cares about Echo. Echo literally is a joke, and they had an opportunity, like I said in my last video, they had an opportunity to take a super diverse character that nobody really knew about, and they had a chance to turn it into a great story and to showcase a character the right way without many people having a preconceived notion about the character, at least not too many people anyway, and they fucked it up anyway. Like, they screwed it up anyway, because they turned it into this girl boss moment. They had to turn her into the ultimate Mary Sue. The entire thing is a literal joke, and there's no reason for you to watch it. There really is no reason. It says Forbes compared Marvel's Echo's critics review on Rotten Tomatoes with other MCU TV shows, and Echo was rated even below the now canceled She-Hulk. Oh, that's bad. The media is working diligently to shape public opinion and present it in a positive light, despite concerns about its long-term reception. Marvel, with its immense fan base and track records of adaptations, has set high expectations for its latest venture, Echo. Initial reviews and ratings, often highlighted by the media, suggest a promising start for the series. Critics and other assorted shills applaud this take on the superhero genre, the diverse casting, and the storyline. These positive appraisals have contributed to an initial rating boost, creating an optimistic atmosphere around the show's debut. Marvel Studios optimistically tweeted, "See, the series critics are hailing as a triumph." Yeah, they do this all the time. All the time. They're hailing it as a triumph. Why? Why is this show a triumph? What makes this show a triumph? Can you talk to me about anything about this show other than the fact that there's a brown chicken that's half indigenous and half Latina, that's deaf, that checks off literally every single box imaginable? If you take away all those check boxes, what makes this show a triumph? Absolutely nothing. There is nothing that this show triumphs at other than being a massive joke. It says, woke simp Will Landman tweeted, Echo Marvel loved it. Alakwa Cox is an incredible as Maya Lopez, and this series just shows how needed indigenous heroes are in the MCU. The sound design, respect for the Choctaw, and fight choreography are sick. DeVary rules. Love Chasky Spencer, Tantu Cardinal, and Cody Lightning Fisk. This guy is a retard. I'm sorry, Will Landman is a complete retard. Why? You literally showcased exactly what you stand for, right? Like, you can't even bring yourself to talk about the show without bringing up the indigenous stuff. You can't. It's impossible, because that is all this show serves. This show is literally, hey, Marvel is saying, damn, man, we're a little behind on the ESG, even though we've been ramping it up the past couple of years. What can we do to get as many check boxes as possible so that we can get back up to where we need to be? Oh, I know. Let's pick out Echo, a character nobody knows about, give her a solo lead show, make sure that she's deaf, make sure she's an amputee, make sure she girl bosses, make sure she beats every single man, make sure she stalemates Daredevil, a known character who kicks ass, who has a history longer than hers. It's like the list goes on. It goes on and on. This thing's a joke. It says, however, a future examination may reveal a divergence between critical acclaim and audience reception, which normally happens. While the media focuses on favorable reviews, the audience score will give the final verdict, as was the case with She-Hulk. The media shows overzealous efforts to emphasize how super awesome Echo supposedly is, contributing to the perception that Echo may not be all that it's cracked up to be. And let's be real, ladies and gentlemen, You know that the show is going to be bad if they don't release the viewership numbers. I'm telling you right now, if they do not release the viewership numbers, that is a tall tale sign that the show failed. They only release viewership numbers for shows that succeed. Or in this scenario, they're going to probably release viewership numbers because they dropped all the episodes in one day. So that way they can show the highest viewership possible for every single episode, because people who are watching it are going to be binging it, and that way they can show a higher number, and then they're never going to talk about it again. So the entire thing is meant to be in their favor. That's obvious, right? Skepticism about Marvel's Echo arose when a trailer was posted online. May recall the atrociously choreographed and filmed fight scenes in the trailer, which drew sharp criticism online. The clip shows Echo and Daredevil fighting, but the kicks and punches are off mark and the movements are way too slow. The media's insistence on Echo's excellence, despite all the legitimate criticism, is an attempt to preserve the overarching narrative on Marvel's unstoppable success. She-Hulk has a 77% critic score, yet the audience score eventually dropped down to 32%. Considering that Echo has a critic score even lower than that of She-Hulk, and taking into account early legitimate criticism of Echo, it doesn't bode well for Echo. Remember, She-Hulk was canceled after only one season. What do you think of Marvel's latest MCU installment? So, listen, I think that Echo is obviously going to be canceled. I definitely don't see it getting a season 2, but let's be real. There's so many shows out there that don't deserve a season 2, and they somehow get season 2s, right? Like, look at Ahsoka. Ahsoka was the worst viewed Star Wars show ever. It bombed dramatically, but because it was a girl boss show, because it checked off every single box that Disney needed to check off, guess what? It's getting a season 2. So it wouldn't be surprising if Echo did get a season 2. Any logical person thinking with their brain and not with their diversity wallets would also say that Echo should not get a season 2. It should be very clear that Echo should just go away like an echo, right? Just go away and never come back. But chances are this show would not surprise me if it gets to season 2. Now, what are they going to do in season 2? I don't really know, considering that she girl boss the entire season 1, and she's basically a Thanos level threat in terms of Manhattan. I really don't know what else she could possibly do. I mean, she might snap off half the existence of the entire universe. Who really knows? At this point, she has so many different powers, and she's so all-powerful that anything is really possible. And the fact that she stalemated Daredevil still to this day, I cannot believe they even allowed that to happen. But again, you're going to have every single feminist and every single male feminist defending this show. It really is hilarious to see all these shills out there going nuts for this particular TV show. And you know what? We knew that was going to happen. They do this with every single TV show. And the fact is, they need this. They need this show to succeed. Like Will Landman over here talking about the show, but he can't help but bring up the freaking diversity of the show, because that's what matters to them. That is the most important thing. The fake diversity, the fake equity, the fake inclusion, that is what it is. The narrative is based around that. So if they can keep pushing that, if they can keep talking about that, then it really doesn't matter how successful or how much of a failure the show is, because to them, the show is going to be a massive success and a triumph for Marvel just because it showed an indigenous woman. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.